All right. Welcome to another episode of Minneapolis by Night. Today we're at the Windswept Frost with Whispers, who is challenging for Adrin. We're hoping to.
Well, I'm issuing the challenge. Whether I get any farther than that.
Right?
All right. So, I'm presuming I've asked around and basically been told, get bent. This is your only option for a galliard for what you need.
Right.
Which I'm ecstatic about. So I will go. I'm assuming she's going to have a fairly prominent place that she tends to reside, given she is the tail singer, and I will go look for her.
Yep. Oh no, she's easy enough to find. People will actually point you to her if you're asking for a galliard, and yeah, she appears to be looking over some paperwork. Actually, she's just hanging out outside, holding a folder.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just approach her.
Okay.
And I don't. All I know is that she's of sufficient rank to handle this challenge. I don't know what rank, so I'll be, fairly formal. Come up and I'll give her a formal bow, and I will look at her after my bow. And Tail Singer Dreams, I'm come per protocol to formally issue a challenge to take the rank of Adren among the Sept. I am given to understand that you are the appropriate person to handle this challenge for me.
Well, if there is no one of the proper rank, I suppose you are correct.
He tries not to be letting, bitterness creep into his voice, and he says, "There's not. Believe me, I looked."
Yeah.
I do not wish to violate protocol, but as I could find no one of adequate rank, I was forced to step above that.
Okay. That was a perception empathy check, but obviously nothing, so it blows right by her. Well, then a challenge you shall get. There is a clave that belongs to my tribe. It's said to be missing. It goes by the name of Whirlwind. Its last known location was in the hands of a Black Fury in the Black Forest.
I see.
Now, if you can find this clave and bring it back to me here at the Sept, I'll be more than happy to give you your rank.
It seems I have some travel arrangements to make then.
Good luck. She just kind of shrugs that bit off.
Well, last scene there. Just because there's last scene there doesn't mean it still is.
That's true as well.
Question is, do I ask around or do I instead just go to the Shadow Dragon because she's the keeper of secrets and the devourer of corruption?
So you want answers to see if the Shadow Dragon can tell you anything?
Well, I'm considering he may, if this is a lost clave that's a secret, he may be able to tell me where to find it or where to start. But on the flip side, we could probably start with, if it was last seen in the hands of a Black Fury, they may know something. Do we have any Black Furies on the Sept?
You do.
We'll start with that.
Let's see. He is the master of the challenge, I believe. Arun, Metis, Banestriker.
Okay. Well, if he's a if he's an Arun Metis,
there is also another Black Fury there. She's a Cleath, but she's there. Sings the Mother's Rage. I think those are the only two Furies on Sept.
Would that be a Galliard? That's a name like that?
Yes, she is.
Well, she might know. I'll start with her.
Okay.
Because the Arun I may have to tussle with otherwise. They like to do that whole challenge you if you want information thing. Make you earn it.
They do. So you're gonna go ask her?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can find her first. So I guess I'll look around the Sept, ask around the Sept, see if I can locate where she is.
Okay.
I guess I'm a fucking Galliard. I could just hole for her, but it seems kind of rude to interrupt everyone's evening because I'm looking for someone.
Right. Okay. She's not hard to find. She's just kind of hanging around on the Sept and in Lupus, actually.
Okay.
Sniffing around.
Well, as long as I'm on the Sept, I'm going to be a Metis. Or in my Krynos form, since I'm a Metis. And the only non-guru here tend to be kinfolk, so.
Right. Where is it?
I'm telling you, many camps the way to go.
That's her in Hamid.
Okay.
If you approach her, she will shift too. So.
Well, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to approach her.
Can I help you?
Well, I am on a bit of an undertaking, although that's somewhat secondary. First, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Daigotsu Yurishi, or more commonly known as Whispers. Perhaps you've
Loris, better known as Sings the Mother's Rage.
Not much of a singer myself. I prefer shadow acting. Somewhat of a lost art, I think, but there's something to be said for
our things.
Indeed. And it's partially this which brings me to you. This spear I bear is known as the Whirlwind, and I'm given to understand that there's been another clave known by this name as well in the West that belonged to your tribe. I had hoped perhaps you knew some tales of it or some some further
It's
details.
my tribe.
Or perhaps was born by your tribe. I do not know the details.
Let's see.
But weapons such as these have more than stories to them. They have souls of their own, and to let them be lost or forgotten is to do them a dishonor.
Ah, the whirlwind. I've heard of it. It's actually taken from the Shadow Lords by the Fury in question after slaying many of their ranks.
Sometimes such things need to be done.
Well, when they're when they're going after you, you tend to defend yourself. Anybody would naturally do so. The individual in question, I believe, the last I heard, is at the Sept of the Raging Vines.
It's not a sept I'm familiar with, although coming from the east, we maintained our courts a bit more. I guess I shouldn't say that. It's possible he would know because he does have some blue lore, but
This sept happens to be allies with the Ahadi.
Well, perhaps that's where I need to go to find the next piece to the story.
Indeed. Yeah. It's going to be quite a bit of traveling. Africa isn't exactly close.
It is not. That's true. But there are the ways, if I can find one willing to allow me to pass. Or perhaps simply walk in the land of spirits.
A moon bridge, perhaps?
That would be the ideal ways.
Well, we do have a gatekeeper. Goes by the name of Quiet Wind.
Perhaps I should speak with this one.
I would be
Those who understand the wind often know more than they let on.
New moon. Enough said.
Well, I thank you for your tale and for your time.
Good luck on your mission. Your challenge, whatever it is you're doing.
Perhaps engaging in a very drawn-out seppuku. And he'll, kind of give her a formal bow, and he backs up as he's bowing to her, and then turns and walks away.
Okay, so yeah, she raises her brow when you bow at her.
Well, it's still a respect thing. It's not necessarily about rank.
Yep, yeah.
Not a real deep one, but
right.
I mean, he is in like samurai armor with 4 katanas and a spear.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess he'll probably just go to the gatekeeper directly at this point.
Okay. That would probably be near the heart of the sept, actually.
And because, if this one is known as the Quiet Wind, he's going to assume they are one. It's one who believes in discretion. So he is. You know what the hell with that? He's got totem up the wazoo here. So he'll make sure that it's fairly clear, and then he'll actually not in his touch with the shadow dragon will cause shadows to kind of subtly twist around him, but he also has almost dark scales that will cover like his up under his neck and stuff. So the areas where his fur might be thinner,
Okay.
they can see that he has black scales. But because of the shadows, more importantly, he is fairly he's harder to notice. So he'll approach. He's not trying to hide, but he is trying to still be discreet
Okay.
and look for this new moon gatekeeper, this quiet wind.
Wendigo Ragabash, if I recall correctly. Yep, Wendigo Ragabash. And he's pretty easy to I mean, like I said, he's at the heart of the cairn, watching over the pathstone and
Okay.
whatnot. And when he sees you approaching, he just sits down in front of it.
Okay. I'll stop a couple steps away, like an appropriate distance, and then I will again bow and inform him that I am Whispers to the Dark Wind, and I have come seeking passage to a faraway sept in search of a lost tale.
He shifts his vocal cords so he can actually converse with you. Where do you need to go?
It was a sept of twisting vines?
Raging vines.
Raging vines. I've been informed that it is known as the sept of raging vines.
He looks confused. I'm not sure where that is.
Apparently it is in the savannas, as I am given to understand, in the lands of Africa.
That's a really far hop for a moon bridge.
Well, I did not expect it to be direct. I assume there'll be some, layovers.
Yeah, I can get you at least to the Sept on the Green, and they should be able to get you overseas from there. Unfortunately, moon bridges only travel so far. You may be making several stops along the way.
I understand it still beats a cargo container.
Sure does. Nobody wants to ride in those. Ugh.
Well, any assistance would be greatly appreciated.
Sure. Just let me make sure that they are aware of your arrival so they're not upset about a stranger on the Sept.
That would probably be beneficial as well. I do not wish to intrude upon another's territory.
They're bone gnars, so just a warning, predominantly bone gnars. What the hell? Oh, yeah. So he actually will step sideways at this point.
Okay.
And he's over on the other side of the gauntlet for about 5-10 minutes before stepping back over. And do you need to grab anything before I open this moon bridge?
Well, he has his weapons. He doesn't really possess much else. So yeah, he would say no, but thank you for the consideration.
Okay. So he will open the moon bridge for you.
All right. Well, I will step onto it and I guess cross it.
Okay.
I don't anticipate any troubles. It's not unheard of, but it's not common.
No. There's not really any issues. The sept on the green actually isn't going to be all that far for you. It's in New York.
Okay.
Central Park, actually.
Go figure. I'm going North Central.
And the Grand Elder, Mother Larissa, has been made aware of your presence, and they actually have the next bridge open. Somebody there ready to open it for you when
Okay.
you arrive. They've actually been made aware of where you need to go, so they inform you that your next stop is going to be the Ageta Fenris Sept in Trondheim.
Okay.
And then and from there she believes that should take you to they should be able to get you to the Sept of the Raging Vines from there.
That would be most excellent, and I appreciate your assistance. Is there anything I can offer you before I pass through?
She shakes her head.
He will, bow in thanks, and I assume head through.
Yep.
They had it open already.
Oh yeah. They are ready to open it for you.
Right.
And so they do.
All right.
Yep, and you pretty much bounce through without any issue, really, because everybody's been made aware of that you're going through.
Right.
So,
And none of them are Shadow Lord can, so.
Nope. The one in Trondheim, did I actually name it? No, I didn't name it yet. The Cracks of Schleppner Sept. They open that up for you. And that's actually, the Get are even ready for you. They just kind of want to get you out and moving because they're Get.
Right. I'm armed to the teeth, so that'll count for something.
Right. So, and when you arrive in the African Sept, you notice that it's in the middle of one of the African rainforests. And there is a woman standing outside what appears to be a cave entrance.
Okay.
Waiting. She just looks like she's waiting.
Well, I'll approach, I guess, and I'll bow and introduce myself. I am Whispers to the Dark Wind, originally of the courts of the East, more recently of the sept of windswept frost in the Americas. They've traveled far seeking tales and evidence of a lost clave, and was told that perhaps someone here might have heard such whispers.
There are a few claves here. I guess that all depends on which you're looking for.
He from his bow, he'll stand up and draw his spear and kind of twirl it around him, but he'll end with it, like parallel to the ground across in front of him. And he'll say, "My blade, forged in the mountains of heaven in the far east, is known as Whirlwind. I am given to understand this is the name of another such tool." And I would wish to know the tale of a blade that shares the name of my own.
Roll your perception empathy.
So my perception. 10 and a 6.
10 and a 6? Oh yeah, she knows about this sept, or this clave. Sept. Hope she knows about this sept.
Right? I am the warden. Where the hell are we?
Well, I know where this sept. I know who possesses this clave.
Well, I'm sure it must be a fascinating tale for it to have come this far. I would dearly like to meet this individual and hear it.
She just chuckles. What's the importance of this clave? Who wants it?
Well, first and foremost, I must understand its tale before I can speak beyond that. I was initially informed of it by one of the, I believe they are known as Shadow Lords on this side of things.
Roll your perception empathy again.
Yeah, that's just a fail.
No. She does roll her eyes. That's plainly obvious at mention of Shadow Lords. Right. Oh, we'll spin a tale for you, all right. By the way, I'm Strikes without fear.
I am Whispers to the Dark Wind, as I mentioned, although
Yes.
as many prefer common names, if that would be your preference. Yuri would suffice.
Very well. Right this way. She leads you into the cave, and down a ways. Around a few corners, it seems to be a tunnel. And eventually you see light coming out the other side.
Okay.
And this is the main, and you realize you're at the main end of the sept. This is where everybody seems to be. There are other miscellaneous Farah, like Swara and Ajaba. It's like the African Farah running around here.
Are there any that have a that might also have like Eastern Beast Court? Not necessarily the same ones, but I imagine not any foxes because we're in Africa. But I don't know if there's any of the Bistet here, perhaps. That's kind of what I guess what I want to assess. I'm familiar with the beast courts and the various other fare of that, so I want to see if there's any that I might recognize that I can kind of get a frame of reference for. They have different ways of doing things.
Well, I can safely say that there are not any beings of the Eastern Beast Courts out here. It's all
Okay.
mainly Ahadi. Like I said, there are Bastet, the Swara,
Right.
but
Well, and they would at least
yeah.
have some similarities. I would imagine, just as all Guru have
Oh yeah,
similar things.
yeah.
I guess that's kind of what I'm looking for. Something that I can at least hone in on a little bit that will give me that familiarity to operate from.
Okay.
So,
And
but then I will. I'm assuming I'm just following along. I'm the visitor here.
she brings you to a roughly built building, and
Okay.
there's she's like, make yourself comfortable.
He'll stand formally. Like it's almost in like at attention stance. Hands at his sides, back
She
straight.
she walks into around a corner into another room, and when
Okay.
she comes back, she's holding a clave in her hand.
Okay.
And she says, "This is Whirlwind." Now, let me guess. I can't imagine why anyone would come looking for this. You are not a Shadow Lord.
I'm going to draw my spear and basically like because it's a double-ended spear, it's going to be a real elaborate display. Like to twirl it like a bow staff would, and then end with it again across in front of him, and say, "This too is Whirlwind." And I am curious to discover just how similar such kindred blades may be.
Well, let me put it this way. This one does some fun stuff. Not going to use it here. It may cause more damage than we want. I'll show you what it can do. But who sent you?
I was asked to seek out both the tail and the blade by the Galliard, Shadow Lord Galliard, known as Dreams of Home,
A Shadow
from the
Lord would
Americas.
send you. She rolls her eyes at the Shadow Lord mention.
Well, they do prefer to set impossible tasks for me.
Why is that?
I have a bit of a history with them. And apparently damaging their pride is a good way to incur future difficulties.
Ugh. Shadow Lords. Shadow Lords. I'm not a big fan of them either. When they try to accuse you of killing one of their elders and then hunt you like an animal, they tend to lose things that they hold dear.
He'll hold up one hand and kind of make it obvious how the shadows are moving around him. He says, or if they fear you step into their territory, and then you shame them by demonstrating that you are more at home than they are.
Yes, my pack and I were accused of killing one of their elders. They hunted us. I killed the man who carried this, along with the rest of his pack and anyone else chasing after us. So I suppose I should be asking you, what exactly is this worth to you? What is taking it back to them worth to you?
That is a fair question, and a difficult one as well. There are multiple ways in the East by which such a thing might be settled. If we were simply peasants on the street, I would offer a wager and some sort of challenge. If we were in the courts, I might offer a challenge of honor to return it to its rightful place. If we were around the tea house, I might offer secrets and tales in exchange. It would depend both on my current venue as well as the persuasion of the individual I'm dealing with.
You know, you say you have issues with this with the Shadow Lords as well. I'm half tempted to give it to you out of spite.
Well, admittedly, they would be less than fond if I succeeded, I imagine. They made it fairly clear they thought I was a fool for accepting.
Though, however, a duel might be fun. You say that weapon shares the name?
It does.
Then maybe we should, I'm curious as to what yours does. I'm not gonna lie there. Does yours have a tail?
It has many, and it is more tangled in my own than perhaps even I care to admit.
I don't know the history behind this clave. I simply know that it belonged to a Shadow Lord.
Well,
I know what it does. And I know how he lost it, like I said. I am quite tempted to hand this off to you, as I said, out of spite. However, like I said, I also don't want to just hand it to you. It is a clave, after all. So I'll make you a deal. Duel me. Whirlwind versus whirlwind. And whoever wins keeps the clave.
Yeah. Not kind of not even really a bow, but a nod, and then he'll turn and very formal about it. He removes his other swords, leans them up. kind of check to see if she's armored, and if not, he'll shed his armor as well.
Nope, she is not.
Admittedly, he has some armor he can't shed, so.
Right.
But he'll, take off his samurai armor as well and lay that next to his swords.
Let's go somewhere a bit more open. She smirks, looking around the walls in this poorly built
He'll
hut, as it were.
kind of nod and gesture.
She actually leads you through the sept a little ways to a more open area.
Okay.
And I guess.
So I guess this is kind of an odd question before we start. I have a melee with a specialty of claves. Do I know actual clave dueling maneuvers or no? Are you running that as a separate skill? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
This should be interesting.
All right.
All right. Well, I will take up a formal dueling position.
As does she. Well, we can roll an ish, I suppose.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
What form are you in?
I'd be in Krynos unless if she remained Hamid, I would shift, but that's my natural form. So
Right. Okay, she's gonna shift. This should be real fun.
doesn't matter. I can shift in combat. I have the Kailindo.
Oh, geez. Jesus Christ.
I suppose I need to roll, don't I? Well, that's about as split as it gets.
Her initial 16.
I have a 6.
Jeez.
Oh, I lied. 7.
Okay. So,
Thank God I have a specialty applicable to dodging.
right. Well, we'll do this vendetta. It's only one-on-one combat, so she's gonna go first. Clearly. Let's see. She doesn't move forward when she swings the clave.
Okay.
She rather just swings it through the air.
Okay.
And oh, Jesus Christ. That's her gnosis to activate it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus. She's just activating the clave is all she's doing at this point.
Okay.
And that's her go. And she just kind of smiles as it's like I said, she activates it.
Okay. Well, I will. Decide how I want to lead in here. Well, I'm going to get the impression that I need to close with her rather rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think yes, that's what I want to do. That makes so much more sense. Yeah. So I will. Excuse me. I'm actually going to use an actual clave dueling maneuver. I am going to try and lead in with a feint. So I basically fake an attack one direction and then strike somewhere else. It's a resisted roll
Okay.
made against perception melee, or if she has clave dueling. And then I add 1 die per success scored to my next attack.
So she needs to
If I
roll
outrank her.
melee.
Yes.
Okay. It's got
And
2.
that for me is Dex melee. Dex melee, I'm in Krynos, that's +1. Specialities, 10's count as 2. So I have a clave specialty and I have a preternatural grace. I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
Yeah,
She had
even if
2,
she... Yeah,
so
she
I
had
have
2 on the perception,
6.
yep.
So I have 6 extra dice on my next attack action.
Cute. Cute. All right.
Hang on a second.
All right.
All right, I'm back. I'm going to
All right.
turn my cats into stir fry pretty quick, I think.
Oh, my.
Yes. Anywho, so I have 6 extra dice on my next attack action.
Okay.
But that was my attack.
Okay. Oh, geez. So, I guess it's her go.
That would go back to her then. Yep.
Yep. Okay. And she's going to
And because I have I'm using my whirlwind spear, so the difficulty to hit me is +1. Which probably really ruins your day right there.
Yeah,
Because you're at
yeah. Her
-2
days.
successes.
Yep. No, I believe that's. Oh wait, she had one success, so it's not really a botch.
Yeah, I guess that depends how you read it, but yeah, I think that's what we've been running with.
Yep. Yep. As
I
long
think
as
it
you
was,
have a success, it's not a botch.
yeah, I think it was revised. That was brutal like that. That anytime one's outweighed successes, it was a botch.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they just totaled them. If you went into negative, it was a botch. But yeah, I think V20, you're right. For the 20th edition, it's only a
So
botch if you have
yeah,
only ones. Okay?
she apparently
She bought into the faint way too early.
underestimate or overestimates her range here and moves past you.
Okay.
Fail. Fails happen.
Yeah, I suppose.
I'm making it your go again.
Yeah, I guess that would be one.
Yep. You got nothing to dodge.
It's true. Uh, well, I guess I will. Actually, I know what I'll do. I'm getting the ideas here. Combat actions. No, that's right. They have dramatic systems separately, don't they?
Maybe.
This is such a disorganized book.
I know.
It's actually probably wouldn't be bad if I used it more often, but well, I guess you know what? Technically, it is a clave duel too. So, in all fairness, wounds happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they're silver.
yeah, well, technically, his is a jade lace or a silver lace jade.
Right.
But,
There's silver still involved.
right. Well, I'm thinking that I will go for a disarm, which is Dex plus melee plus 1 usual difficulty, and I have to exceed my point strength
Mhm.
score. But I deal damage as well.
Okay.
So it's Dex plus melee,
Right.
plus I had 6 dice from a feint,
Jesus Christ.
and I have plus 1 diff, but because I'm using the spear, that reduced my difficulty to hit by 1.
So it just evens out, basically.
Right. I don't know what her strength is, but I'm going to hope that it's in a ballpark here. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 successes
Jesus.
to hit. Well, that's just my to hit.
Yeah.
So that has to exceed score to drop the weapon. So I'm imagining her crino strength is above 6.
Yeah.
But that's still 6 successes on damage. And I have...
Do I need to roll her strength?
No, you don't have to roll it. I don't think so. It says exceed strength score.
Okay.
So let's see. Fixed. But then I have 6 dice roll over to damage, correct?
Yep.
So then it's strength 3. Krynos, I have a strength of 7, so 10, 16 damage.
Oh yeah, that's right. She does get a dodge vendetta mode.
Does she after she double botched? Oh wait, you don't have to subtract ones in damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you want to roll? You gotta roll a dodge then if I roll, because I rolled my.
Yeah.
Which really means I need to re-roll damage.
7. Yeah, because she might dodge.
Well, she may
You guys are
reduce
clave
my.
dueling. She knows Silver's involved, and you're both in Krynos. That's not a good thing. Can't soak it. Well, let's see. She dodges 1.
Okay. So I have a 15 die pool for damage. That's unfortunate too, because I had a nice damage pool last.
I didn't even.
I guess
These
it's
don't
moot
cancel
point.
out anyway.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So she took 9 aggravated damage. Which I think she can rage to stay up, but that's about her only option.
Yeah. Because it's silver.
It's beyond just silver too, it's a clave.
Yeah. No, she can rage, but it pretty much puts her at in cap. 9 damage. Yeah. So she rages, and it's pretty much it's all that it is to keep her alive.
Right.
So now you have a Hamid female pass the fuck out right there. Let's see. Where's my hit chart of doom? That's what I need.
And her healing probably went down because she's
There's
back
no
to
such
common.
thing as the 102 on the hit chart. There's so or 20, 200, whatever. Fudge is it? Dang it! I lost the hit chart of doom apparently.
You have a
So
Google though.
that's irrelevant, huh?
You have Google though.
I do, but the hit chart of doom is actually drawn up.
Ah.
It's on one of my notebooks.
Gotcha.
My vampire one, and that's MIA.
This is why I went digital.
We'll say that you get a nice, good hit across the ribs here. So yeah, she's got a nice wound along the rib cage there. And you've technically won the challenge. You could take the clave.
Well, that's what I'll do is I'll pick up the clave, but then I'm going to pick her up too. She's incapacitated. I'm not just going to leave her here.
Right. All right. So what do you do with her?
Well, I'm going to carry her back to. I mean, I assume I saw other people. I walked through.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there. Yeah. Actually, one of the Swara will deal with her.
Right. Well, I'm going to at least get her back that far.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and when you get her up that far, somebody, an African man who doesn't speak English, runs up to you and points at her.
Okay. Well, I'll just kind of gently try and pass her over because I assume that's what he's getting at.
Yep. Yep. He takes her and will actually set her down.
Okay.
And he shifts to his feline form.
Okay.
And starts licking the wound. Let's see. How
Um,
does he do?
I would imagine for him that would be a technically doesn't that fall into renown? Don't they gain renown for helping people?
Mm-hmm.
So
No. He's able to heal 2 damage on her. So she's going to have a nice scar, but at least she's not bleeding out anymore. And
I will as she's as he's doing that, I will hell with it. I'll actually perform a rite of accomplishment in their tradition, in their style, to acknowledge what he's doing on her behalf.
okay.
But I'm going to make a point to do it in the at least what I know of the Bastet culture, which I have a beast court lore of 2, so I assume I at least understand some of the because they're part of the beast courts if I remember correctly.
Oh, some Bastet are, yep.
Right. So basically, that's what I want to do is
I think
acknowledge.
it's mostly the con.
Right, but I want to acknowledge him in the Bastet tradition, not in a guru tradition.
Oh, no.
You know,
Awesome.
acknowledge their ways.
All right.
So, and then I will. I assume there was someone who. She was the one who greeted me when I came through. So she's probably the one who has to open the moon bridge for me to get back.
No, she was greeting you because yeah. That was the information you passed along to the prior gatekeeper,
Perfect. So
but we've never
because
talked.
they knew who I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then I will see if anyone speaks. I doubt they speak any of my languages.
There are some people who speak English.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I have English, Guru, or Japanese right now. So
okay. Uh, no, when is able to sit up. Like I said, once he does do that,
okay.
she's just gonna have a wicked scar.
Actual battle scar.
Yep. And
Is it her first battle scar? Probably not.
no,
Far from it.
far from it. Yeah. uh, when she does sit up and come to the Sora actually like because cheetahs are the biggest cats that purr, it gives her a slight headbutt and a purr.
Okay.
And she just looks at you. Well, you won.
Everyone always assumes tail spinners do nothing but talk.
Assume nothing.
Can I hope I can get a route back?
Let me go find our gatekeeper. Do you need to get the rest of your stuff?
I do. That would probably be prudent, but I felt it polite to ask in advance rather than stand at the gate and demand a passage.
She looks down at the Swara and actually speaks his language, the African one. She speaks to him in that, and he runs off. It's
Okay.
getting taken care of. Let's go get your stuff.
All right. He will. He'll follow and get his stuff, his
She,
armor and his swords and.
right? She's definitely like, damn it. So you're just gonna bring it on back to the Shadow Lord, huh?
I had the challenge to return it, to whom was never declared.
Oh,
It seems to me that perhaps the Shadow Lord, in her haste, chose to neglect her wording when dealing with one who specializes in words.
well, I don't think you're going to want to return it to where it, as far as where I know where it came from. I don't think you want to go there. Shadowkeep isn't a friendly place.
Well, by definition, if I return to whence I left while carrying it, I have returned it.
I like the way you think. She just laughs.
And he'll thank her for the challenge and for the tale.
Thanks for the scar, I guess.
I believe we both have a tale to tell.
I'm sure we do. Oh, if you're gonna use that, being as she didn't actually get to
I guess
land a hit with it, make sure you got plenty of space around you.
that tends to not be a problem when you travel alone.
This clave can cause a lot of collateral damage.
He'll kind of look at it and he'll go, that gives me an idea. How far do you suppose a bear can throw a Krynos?
A bear? A Garal?
Large, shaggy, looks like an overgrown chia pet. Yeah, we have those over there too. I know it's weird. They're never. Who wants a pet plant?
Right.
I mean, even where I come from, that's odd. We got the little trees, but a pet plant? I never understand these Americans
How far
sometimes.
do you think one can throw a Garal?
No. How far can a Goral throw me?
How far can a Garal throw you? Well, I guess that depends on
See,
how big and bad said Garal is.
no. Perhaps I'll have to return with an answer to that question. I will let you know. And then he'll leave.
Okay. You get your the gatekeeper is ready for you. And the Sparrow is actually sitting next to the gatekeeper.
Okay.
Tail swishing, but he's like, well, your chariot awaits.
Okay. I'll bow to him as well. He did also help heal her, which, was a thing he didn't have to do and was an honorable thing to do. So,
Okay.
and then I will start passing through.
And again, you're expecting it again. You're going to be hitting the
Right.
same steps on the way back, and they kind of expect it.
Minimal layover time.
Yeah.
All right.
They
When
do. Yeah.
when I return, I will seek out dreams.
Okay. They actually tell you that she's at your favorite place.
My theater.
I'm being sarcastic. Stormcrow.
Ah, shit. That means I have to look like a person. All right. Well, I guess I'll shift to Hamid and head there.
Okay. She's
Did you need me to roll, or can we assume I do it at some point before
I'll assume that you do it. She is sitting at the end of the bar with a drink in hand, and she seems to be putting the paperwork she was looking at prior in that folder. She seems to be
Okay.
polite, folding pieces of paper and just casually sticking, like taking them out and putting them in envelopes.
Even in Hamid, he's still in his samurai armor and swords and stuff. He doesn't, he's Eastern looking guy, so he pretty blatant about it. If anyone asks, it's a cultural thing.
Right.
Or there's a con in the area.
Well, you really know how to make people take notice. She just kind of glances over her shoulder at you as you walk in your samurai gear.
There's only so far one can hide before one is being dishonorable.
Correct. So, I assume that you're not here just to have a conversation.
He'll, kind of show her the glaive, but he keeps a hold on it, and he says, "As agreed, I've returned the clave."
Well, see, returning it. Let me see that. She motions for you. She wants to see it.
Okay.
She extends her hand.
He will, he's going to set it down in front of her, but kind of keep his hand on it a little bit. And then he'll lay his spear above it. And he'll say, "Yes, by my hand, both whirlwinds return to the sept."
Very well. So she's like, this isn't my ancestral clave. However, I do know the family that it came from. And to be perfectly honest with you, if they want it, they will come and claim it. However, I want to see this. I want to know how many of mine were killed with this. If
That I
you'll
cannot
believe me,
speak to, for such tales were not told to me, only that some were felled. But he'll kind of step back and gesture to it. And he said, "And should those who lost it wish to reclaim it, I do not hide where I reside.
very well.
There are some shadows that are more visible."
She just half smiles. So where was it?
In a far jungle, a place of cats and mutts.
She raises a brow. Cats. Jungle.
The sept of vines in the African lands. They have such odd terms over there.
Africa.
And they say we are weird. My people, we keep it simple. Sept of soaring heights. Court of the mountain of heavens. It's easy. We're up in the mountains. There's a court there. What the hell are raging vines? How does a vine rage?
I didn't name the sept.
I get that. I mean, even windswept frost, I understand it's cold and windy here. Message received. But some of these Westerners, and indeed especially the South, those in the Southern area, it just seems odd to me. I understand traditions differ, but
Perhaps there's something
fundamental
special.
logic.
Raging vines, huh? She's gonna roll her intelligence score.
If it makes you feel any better, the one who bore it, who had claimed it from your tribe, will bear a permanent mark for the challenge against me.
Whoo, yeah. That's Sept of the Raging Vines is a fury sept in Africa. How in the hell? Oh, I don't want to know.
Took a couple trips to get there. There was a Scandinavian guys, funny accents. Big city, Christ, it was as bad as Tokyo.
Oh, they sent you to Central Park. The sept on the green, huh?
Yes, something I have to give Tokyo. They have much better waste management.
Bone
This, yes.
Mars. I used to reside there. I'm glad I don't anymore.
How many
Well,
times must one bathe in a day to eradicate such place?
oh, oh,
Yeah, I guess following that up,
oh.
does this sept of ours have such bathhouses, or do such things not exist?
Of course, there's places to bathe. Why have you not?
Bathhouses, social, enjoy beverage, bathe, socialize, tell tales,
Um,
speak of large fish that get larger every time.
there are places to bathe, though they're not public.
Ah, I see. These cultural differences, I'm still understanding. One bathes alone, and one simply speaks with butterflies. I do not understand all of you people, but I will. In time, I imagine I will understand, and perhaps then I will fit in a bit better.
Well, I see you've succeeded in bringing the clave back. You've done a lot of traveling. Uh, you have your desired rank as you've done precisely what I've asked of you to. Shockingly, she kind of says that in a kind of bitchy tone.
He nods his head and
And
he says, "That's the words were spoken, so were they honored."
I may come find you again in regards to this when I can learn the proper things to gain the information I need from this blade.
Well, I look forward to such conversations, as I'm sure they will be very interesting.
Sure they will be. She, is there anything else you need of me? Whispers.
He he'll look at her and he'll say, "No, I I do not think so. I would not wish to offend the Stormcrow by asking further favors of his tribe.
You might not
It'd be a,
want
be
to
a,
run around like that all the time either. Just
it would.
motioning at his stuff. Not that I have anything against different cultures, but some people, that's not exactly legal to carry around right there. She's pointing at his weapons.
He kind of scratches his head and he goes, I have documentation for ownership, and by my understanding, unless they are concealed, that is all I require. But I do gather your meaning. And I imagine I can't claim conventions every week.
Oh, jeez. That's what you've been saying. She just shakes her head. Go. Go, Whispers. Go.
He chuckles and takes both claves. As he heads out, he's going to, real casual, he'll just kind of raise one hand and wrap some shadows around whichever light is above where she was working, and then walk out.
Okay. So the lights go. So she has no light.
The one above her would be right. And then as he gets out, it would disperse. But,
Okay.
which, if you recall, that is the kind of thing that got his family in trouble with Stormcrow in the first place. But
Mm-hmm. Good thing no one else is in there. She would have been a little,
well, it would just look like that. Yeah, I suppose if there were other gurus, she might take a little more of an issue. But
yeah, there wasn't even any mortals in the bar at that
well,
point.
they would just assume the light bulb was flickering.
Yep.
But then he'll head back to the sept.
Okay.
And I assume he's got to find a different Galliard now to tell his tale to.
No.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. Technically, he's going to go light the torches at his theater and tell his own tale. He can't acknowledge any renown for it, but he can tell his own tale.
Yes, he can.
And hopefully then a Galliard will hear it and can acknowledge him.
Oh, I will put up a thing on the board that he's acknowledged your rank challenge and your rank. So.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else right now.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I'm going to check on my kinfolk allies and make sure they're doing all right because they've been kind of running shifts around the set. So.
Oh yeah, they're okay. Like you said,
there's enough of them. I assume they're rotating.
Yeah. They're rotating. They're fine. They do make mention of some of the guru wandering around. Specifically, makes mention of the Get, though not directly wandering around. There's a few packs of wolves checking things out, but they're fine.
That's fine.
The Guardians make sure that nobody messes with them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these guys, when they're not here, are probably living at the dragon nest for the shadow dragon, which is technically a stronger cannon than this one.
Yeah.
But no, as long as they're good and they don't need anything else, I'll head out.
Okay.
And I will. I guess I'll just return to my theater where I will tell this tale of this glorious duel. And how those of the lands of Africa were taken by the dueling techniques of the East.
Awesome. You're gonna get some people obviously watching your stuff here.
Perfect. And that's all I had.
So. Okay. Well, that's that then. You have the button. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.